And now welcome our first wildfire startup, Revcom. Revcom is a startup company developing voice and AI-enabled cloud services based out of Tokyo, Japan. Their mission is to create a new way to communicate and spark innovation throughout the world. As their first product, Revcom is providing an AI-enabled cloud IP phone called Mytel. Joining us today here at Wildfire is Yuichiro Sasaki, Overseas Business Development. Yuichiro-san, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is JETRO from Revcom. Thank you for this opportunity. Let me introduce our company and the service. Can you go to the next page? So we are founded in 2017 in Tokyo, and currently around 100 people in Tokyo and in Indonesia and the Philippines. Yeah, next page. So this is the issue that we are trying to solve. We call it as a black box problem. Black box problem. In the B2B business business operation, there are like customer and the operators. So the conversation is between those customer and operator. It's very difficult to analyze. So what's going on? What kind of conversation is being made? It's very difficult to analyze. So that's why if the deal went well or not going well, very well, it's very difficult to analyze why. So this is the issue that we are trying to provide a solution to. Can you go to the next? So this is the product that we have currently. Basically, IP cloud phone. So all you need to have is internet connected laptop, PC. Then you can make a call. And after you made a call, our AI analysis engine will analyze your conversation in order to improve your conversation. And we also provide a video conference system. This video meeting tool is also the one. If you use this, then you can analyze your conversation as well. Can you go to the next page? Yeah. So this is the overview. This is our product overview. Next page. So basically the conversation is made by what to talk and how to talk, and what and how. But we are providing the solution. For what we have the transcription in Bahasa Indonesia. So after the agent made a conversation, or the conversation will be transcribed, so you can see the fact basis analysis. And the how part is how you talk, like talk this and this, how much percentage you talked, or how many you cut in, how many silence you made. Yeah, those kind of conversation analysis will be done by Mitel. And go to the next page. Eventually, we have various customers from various industries, ICT, HR, real estate in Japan, and in Indonesia as well. We also have several customers. Yeah, on the next page. The end. This is the benefits that customer can use. Customer can get when they are using Mitel. So increase the profit, since they can save the good call. So the good call will be the asset of the company. Sorry. So that's increase the profit, and also to decrease the cost. All the communication will be very efficient. That will end with the decrement of the cost. Next page. And then, yeah, so this is a product overview. We have the basic function of IP phone, and also the analysis part, as I mentioned previous page, and the next page. One page before, sorry. So currently we are providing one page before. Currently we are providing for free trial. Can you go to the one page before? Yeah, so in Indonesian market, we just landed and currently providing for the program. So if anyone is interested in, please let us know. Well, I think, yeah. Can you go to the last page? I mean, next page. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it from my side. Any questions, please give me some comment or questions.
And with that, we would like to welcome our judges for the first set of questions for RevCom. Which judge would like to start off the ball rolling? Any questions? Mr. Joe Zhang, you look very intense here right now. You have a question for our guest.
I think Chandra raised his hand.
Yes, sorry, I raised my hand.
Oh, sorry, I could not see from here. Sorry about that. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, yeah. So it's very interesting, Yuichiro-san. I mean, like you have been doing operations in Indonesia, right? So, my name is Chandra Firmanto. I'm the founder of Indonesian Capital, based in Jakarta, Indonesia. So that's why I'm interested to know more about your revenue model, because it was not very clear for me as well. How's your revenue model actually, and then maybe you can tell a bit about your competition landscape as well in Indonesia.
Okay, the revenue model is very simple. It's a SaaS, so software as a service. So yeah, we charge like monthly basis and for the usage fee and also the call charge as well. That's a revenue model. It's pretty similar to other B2B SaaS products like Salesforce and others. And the landscape in Indonesia is we are just now launched and we are doing market research and GTM strategy we are building. But so far, we are seeing the good line, actually. The situation in B2B is not really huge difference. It's not really different between Japan and Indonesia. So we can just, bring our experience into Indonesia. But many parts, actually, we just realized, that we have to localize. So that's why we already have several local members in Indonesia, but the having local organization is really important. That's what we see. But we see the green good line actually for the future.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fermano. Yes, sir, Mr. Ryota, you have a question.
Yeah, let me ask you one question. Thanks for the presentation. So just wondering what kind of customers that you're targeting in Indonesia, kind of the pain points that you're trying to address through your service.
Thank you very much. It's pretty much same as Japan, the situation in Japan, which is telemarketing first of all, and contact center, customer center. Yeah, so the telemarketing usually they have some KPIs like how many appointments they need to create, they need to make. But like once it's even successful, it didn't go well. But it's very difficult to analyze why, to find out the reason for the team. So that's why we're providing solution to analyze why. Yeah, that's the one part. And the other thing is like IP4 market in Indonesia is quite new comparing with Japan. So not only just analysis, but also as a infrastructure, we are thinking of our service as a solution too. So if the infrastructure part, we don't have any specific markets. So all the companies can be our customer. But for the analytics part, yeah, telemarketing and HR, the candidate interview, those kind of interviews can be made by phone call sometimes, and it can be analyzed and find out why it went well or didn't go well.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ryota-san. Are there more questions? Yes, Joe.
Hi, this is Joe. Actually, I have a question on the actual improvements on either it's the sales process efficiency or the HR efficiency, right? Can you share what is maybe using some case studies, right? Like how much percentage in terms of the improvements in maybe getting appointments, also in terms of converting the appointments to closing, or how much improvement is there for retention?
Okay. In Japan, we have many cases to be shared, but in Indonesia, since we only have several customers, so I'd like to share one thing about the internal use case. So we also have the outbound call team in our team in-house. Doing cold call every day, like 150, 200 calls, like making every day, and we do analyze using Meteor, of course. And the first thing is, like, as I mentioned in the slide, the conversation is made by what and how, right? So the what part, we compare it with the script and the transcribed actual conversation, so that we don't need to listen to one by one to the record. That's the one part. And then the other part is, like, let's say, like, we have three agents who is doing cold call, and one is doing very well. Those two, the other two are not really well. And one, we see how she talks actually, like how much percentage she spend on talking, spend on listening, or how many times she cutting while your customers are talking, or like speech speed difference. Yeah, those kind of factors we check and we set as a standard. So in our workflow, her number is the best one, and others needs to follow. Yeah. And actually, we started this improvement operation a month ago, and already like 30%, 40% appointment made rate went well. So like every time other two are seeing the top one's result, and after immediately she other two finish their call, then see the result. Or this time I spent 60% for talking, but the target is 40%. Maybe next time I need to spend more listening. Yeah, like that kind of improvement can be done, and eventually the improvement in the team will be bigger, really bigger, and yeah, bring some additional revenue to the team.
Thank you very much. To round it out,
Great.
Vitavin, would you have any more questions for our guest?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sasaki-san. Just curious, what's the growth strategy in terms of 1 or 2 years from now? Do you plan to have any new product for the existing market, or you plan to expand the product to some new market outside Japan and Indonesia?
Oh, thank you. So currently we have a phone call solution, which is Meteor, and also we have a Meteor Live or Meteor for Zoom, like online conference tool. So we have two products in Japan and Indonesia, and we will keep launching new products using our technology. But so far those two, and in Indonesia we just launched 3 or 4 months ago. So it's kind of very new here. So we explore with the Meteor first. And after that, yeah, of course, we go to Philippines, we may go to India or any countries. So our CEO sees the foreign market as a very important market. So we put a lot of resource on expansion of our business to Asian countries.
And again, thank you so much to our first startup here for Wildfire 2021. We have Revcom. And let us now listen to our second startup, Asila Human-Centric AI Solutions. They ensure public security and safety by making real-time actionable data through intelligent video analytics and exponentially increasing the value of surveillance system investments. Asila's IVA platform can be utilized in many other fields, which include healthcare, agriculture, smart cities, entertainment, among others. To offer our third pitch from Katsuya Yamashita, AI Project Manager of Asila. Katsuya-san?
Thanks for the introduction. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yamashita, and I'm a project manager at Azira. Now I'd like to present our company and business. Please go to the next spread. Right, thanks. So our vision is to change the world to prevent crimes and accidents before it occurs. And based on this vision, our main business is to detect when human does something abnormal actions in front of surveillance cameras and send an alert to the securities. As you can see here, the sample, this is the sample of the output when it detects fighting. So once it detects something like this, and then trim the scene and send an alert to the designated device like the smartphone. Please next. As I just mentioned, the surveillance camera, we are now trying to solve the problem in Japan, such as aging society and a lack of the human labor in the security industry. Like the 50% of the workers are over 60 years old now. At the same time, we are realizing that the needs of the security is now increasing based on the fact that number of the surveillance camera is now increasing in the world. Now it is over 1 billion and increasing year by year. Next, please. So based on this problem, we provide solutions using human behavior recognition AI. Here's the detail of our main product, which can detect some specific actions like fighting, staggering, falling, staying, and the general abnormal actions. We call it ANORA as a product. This requires to learn at the angle for the first few days. Then once we learn up, it can detect 4 actions plus general abnormal actions, which the AI has never seen before. Nowadays, most of the case, human needs to check by their eyes the surveillance camera, but our AI can monitor 24/7 and then get alert only when something occurs. So that means it can be replace the human labor cost. Next, please. Here are our partners we have done work before. Human action recognition can apply for many kinds of the fields, such as mobility, real estate, electrical, agriculture, and so on. Please, next. Lastly, here, let me explain our who are working with. CEO Kimura and Azira Vietnam CEO Hai, they are the one who built our current POS model 4 years ago to start this business. For sure, they had so many difficulties before, but the experience brings us to the #1 of the world. We believe there is nothing we can do in this field. Yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you very much over there. And with that, we would like to begin with our second set of questions from our judges. To our dear judges, who would like to begin with their questions? Joe, you seem to be getting into this one. Would you like to ask a question to our pitch giver?
Sure. Hi, Kasuya-san. Thanks for the presentation. Joe here. So I have a question on the basically the business model itself. Like what like when you start a new project, for example, if you partner with a developer, right? What is the kind of the project kickoff and also the onboarding phase? What do you need to do, and how long does it take to implement your technology over their system?
Thanks for the question. Well, actually, the length of the duration will be like around 3 months to like as a POC to to check whether the technology can be applied or not. So yeah.
And what are the key metrics that you are monitoring to decide on whether the project can be implemented or not?
Well, actually, there's nothing for like there's for implementing. Like we can implement in the edge device, like a very small device, like something like this. But then the thing is, we need to have some GPU to process the image for apply our model. Am I answering your question?
Okay, maybe let me change. Try to change the question around. So basically, after at the end of the POC stage, what are the key improvement or key metrics that the client need to see to decide on proceeding to the next stage? For example, to the PO stage, and also the basically the official contract.
Well, it depends on our contract that we will have, but like I don't know. Well, it will be decided by the client. So like we will like adjust their want.
Okay, so basically it will be according to the client's needs.
Yes, right.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much from Mr. Joe Zhang. We have more questions as well from any of our other judges as well. Yes, Mr. Vitabin, please go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Kazuya-san, for the presentation. Just wondering, what's the most common use case that's being applied to your client? Is it like safety for safety, like purposes, like to detect people fighting or leaving some objects behind, or is it more on healthcare, like watching out for elderly fall? And if there's any other use case that you have been applying for your clients, thank you.
Thanks. Actually, we are applying so different fields, such as you said, like health industry, or like maybe the security industry, like a plant or power plant, or some, I don't know, factories, and also like the real estate, like a shopping mall or some office building. So like we have so many fields that we can apply, but mainly we are focusing on real estate, like office building, and also shopping mall, because we have so many surveillance camera and the needs.
Thank you very much, Vitavin. Are there one last question? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Ryota-san.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. So just to add on to the previous question, just wondering, so assuming that in the shopping mall or the office building that there is this surveillance camera, and then based on your human behavior recognition AI, you can detect, right, that these two people are fighting in the next 30 seconds. So who will be appreciating and then using that information?
Well, thanks for the question. Well, the appreciating, that will be the owner of the real estate. For example, like shopping mall, the owner of the shopping mall, and the office building, and for the real estate owner. So that's the target of ours.
But by the time that they take any action based on the information from the camera, then there's already a fight, or those tests were happening already. They cannot prevent that happening.
Right. This is for like there's a security guy. They need to like monitor or secure the real estate, right? So like once it happens, we cannot like prevent, but then once it happens, we can know as soon as possible. That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah, but then
the time is over. But thank you so much, Mr. Ryota-san, and thank you so much to our friends from Asila as well. So thank you so much, Mr. Katsuya Yamashita. Good luck to you. And our third startup is Global Mobility Service, Inc., which provides a solution to the social issues of which financial institutions cannot solve, offering fintech services to create opportunities for the 1.7 billion people to utilize financial services throughout countries which include Japan, the Philippines, Cambodia, and Indonesia, to purchase vehicles, to work hard as drivers and improve their lives. Please welcome GMS Executive Director and Head of Business Division. We have Kazumasa Nakashima. Nakashima-san, welcome. The floor is yours.
As you know, SDGs is the 17th World Standard Goal to realize sustainable society. We are the fintech startup company with our vision same with the first SDGs, no poverty. Today, I will explain who we are, what issues we are facing, how we solve the issue through our business. Next slide, please. We are a global mobility service from Tokyo. We have 28 million USD capital with subsidiary in the Philippines, Cambodia, Indonesia, and Korea, with major business partner and investors in Japan. Next, please. On a global scale, there are 1.7 billion people who don't have access to financial services. So they only have choice to rent cars from vehicle owners. Even though they work really hard every day, they have to pay the expensive rental fee and they cannot pass the loan assessment. Based on this situation, we think that creditworthiness is not equal to ability to pay. Next slide, please. Even COVID has a lot of effects on the financial companies. Default rate of PH, auto loan industry became almost twice higher, and the loan receivables are getting lower. Now, financial industry definitely needs solution to safely collect their payment. Next, please. In order to solve the problems, we developed two technologies by ourselves. One is MCCS, which is IoT device installed into financed vehicle. The other one is MSPA, which can remotely command MCCS for activation and deactivation. Next, please. Now we offer this fintech service to financial institution. When the loan is not paid on time, we safely deactivate vehicle and promote payment. And then when the customer pay the amount, we activate the vehicle in 3 seconds. Due to this system, for those who could not get loan, now can get the loan from financing company, since they can really secure the collateral and they highly probably pay the amortization by the customers, we lower risk. We offer them the working history with payment record as well. Next, please. So that we promote driver can get more opportunity for education loan, medical loan, housing loan. Next, please. So far, fintech is for those who could access to finance, but our fintech is for 17 billion people who really need financial support. Currently, we are offering 13,000 vehicle drivers as financial inclusion fintech. Next, please. This is one of the driver who successfully get loan up to 4-wheel, and then he is the Grab driver today. Next, please. So we think that there are many people who need our services, and we made an ecosystem that can beat social problem. And we are aiming at contributing more impact globally, be representative as Japanese startup. This is how we eradicate poverty through fintech. And then I would appreciate to listen to me today. Thank you very much.
We'd like to ask our judges to begin with their round of questions. Judges, can you please raise your hands electronically? Yes, I'd like to start off with Mr. Chandra Fermanto. Chandra,
Yes,
the floor is
thank
yours.
you. Yes, thank you, Kazumasa-san, for the presentations. Actually, I met with your company like a year ago before, and then I tried to connect to the multi-finance company, so Busan Auto Finance, and actually the concern was about the cost of utilizations. Is there any significant changes from then until now? Perhaps because I remember the cost was about 200 or 300,000 rupiah, right, per the gadgets, right? So for motorcycles financing is actually a bit higher, actually from their perspective, right? So have you able to actually work with any of the multi-finance company, and then maybe you can tell the story as well to us?
Okay. We have a new service model that we give the device for free, and then we charge for the monthly service fee based on the collection rate they made. So for the borrowers, burden is now lower, and we also developed a new device that can be cheaper than before. So for the economically speaking, I think it's easier for financing company to use our services today.
Oh, that's good to hear. Maybe you can reach out to me again after the event, then maybe
Sure.
I will try to connect you again to the several of the multi-finance companies in Indonesia. Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you so much. It looks like you got a deal in your hands over there, Nakashima-san.
Yes.
Any more questions from the other judges as well? Please do raise your hands electronically so I can. Yes, Joe, please go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Nakashima-san, for the presentation. So I have a question. There are a few stakeholders in your presentation. There are the banks, there are the borrowers. So who are your actual clients who pay the fees? And the second question following that is, what is your go-to-market strategy to acquire those clients?
So our customer is a financing company who actually loan to our end user. So we got fee from the financing company as a revenue share. As I mentioned a while ago, that once a financing company could collect money, some of the portion is paid to us as a revenue fee, a revenue share. And then for the introduction of the services, we also have our own marketing and sales team who's doing the online and offline activities. If it's online, we usually use SNS. And if it's offline, we actually go to the field, talk to the dealer or talk to the community that the driver is actually gather up together. So that's how we do sales and the marketing.
Okay, got it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jozan, for the question. Mr. Ryota or Victorine, yes, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Hi, Nakashima-san. Just wondering if you could share a bit more insights on the 13,000 driver that the company have been working with in terms of the country, types of vehicle, and purpose of the loan or occupation. Yeah, thank you.
You're talking about which countries are offering most?
Yeah, just some insights into the customer you are serving. Yeah, which market or which vehicle and what do they do? Yeah.
Okay. So mainly those vehicles are provided in Japan or the Philippines. Let's say, for example, in the Philippines, most of them are tricycle driver or the commercial driver who has the truck. So in the Philippines, we introduced around 7,000 driver, and then 90% is tricycle driver, 10% is truck driver. And then few percentage, we also have the four-wheel vehicle, which can like a taxi or the Grab drivers. And in Japan, everyone is the commercial drivers.
Just one more question. Is the term of the loan differ by country or is generally quite the same?
Somehow different. For example, in the Philippines, tricycle is usually 3 to 5 years. And then in Japan, everything is more than 5 years.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ryota-san, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. So just two questions for Philippine market. Just wondering to understand the rough percentage of those your end customers who are unable to pay up the loans. Therefore, you need to correct those, the rickshaw or the motorcycles. So the second question is, what will be happening if you have to correct all these, rickshaws and motorcycles?
Okay, so I didn't mention in the slide, but we also have the operational services for financing companies. Like what you mentioned, for example, if the financing company, if the driver didn't pay and then the vehicle is there, if they don't pay more than 1 month, we have operation team to go there and then deposit the vehicle and then put it in the warehouse of either GMS or the financing companies. And then those vehicles, we are trying to look for another customer who can assume the vehicle and then use it as a second-hand vehicle, or we also have the buyer in cash that they can get vehicles. So at least financing company do not have any pending situation. We either sell to another driver or we sell to the auction or the buyer. So that's how we do.
Right, thanks.
Thank you so much, Ryota-san. And that covers all our judges here right now. So again, thank you so much for all the answers, Nakashima-san, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
And moving on to our next startup, Axelspace. Axelspace creates microsatellites and uses them to solve problems from space. Since their establishment in 2008, they have developed 5 spacecrafts, which include the world's first commercially traded satellite. Through these projects, their satellite technology has continuously improved in both performance and reliability. To talk more about Axelspace, we have Kunal Raina, their head key accounts management and international business. Please welcome Axelspace. Kunal, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you, everybody. Thank you. This is Kunal Raina from Axelspace Corporation, and I handle the overseas business and also go-to-market strategy for Axelspace. Talking on Axelspace Corporation, currently we are a Japanese organization who is predominantly into manufacturing of microsatellites, and also we have our own satellite corporation where we are doing Earth observation study. Okay, next slide. talking about our mission, currently, this is our key mission of space within our reach. That is something which we are valuing going ahead as an organization, and which also drives our key mission of making space available to a lot of different organizations globally. Next slide. So this gives an overview of our old and historical manufacturing of microsatellites. What we have done in past, we call it digital manufacturing of satellites, which is also satellites as a service. We started back in 2013, where we started our first project, okay, which was for Tokyo University and also Weather News, and we have also transformed into multiple projects going forward. Including our own constellation, which is called GRUS, and also an innovation project for JAXA, which we are still engaged and we are doing it up for. Next. This is an overview of an actual picture of GRUS when it was launched back in 2018 as one of our key milestone project called GRUS 1A. We have launched 4 more satellites this year, which are called GRUS 1BCDE. I will talk a bit more about it on the next slide. So this gives our plan for our own constellation called GRUS. When we started back in 2018, we had 1 satellite. This year we launched 4 more, adding to our constellation. We are in a plan of launching 5 more by Q4 of 2022, adding and making our constellation a 10 satellites constellation, and then adding much more in many years to come to make our capability more advanced in terms of Earth observation and optical imagery. Yeah. Next. As a business model, we also have our own platform, which is called Excel Globe Business Platform. All our data from our satellite is hosted on this platform after processing. This data is then accumulated, and a lot of data analytics is done as part of different sustainable goals across various industries, including agriculture, forestry, marine, yeah, and different ocean economy. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kunal from Axel Space. And with that, we would like to welcome our judges for their questions for Axel Space. Please do raise your hands electronically for your first set of questions from the judges. I can only tell from the reactions of the judges. Yes, please, Joe, go ahead.
Hi, Kunal. Thanks for the presentation. This is a very new space for me. Just wondering, who are your target clients, and how do you monetize from your technology at the moment?
Yeah, so currently we have 2 sets of client. One is we have 2 models. One model which I was talking about is manufacturing of our microsatellites. So usually the target base is all government organizations, federal organizations, also some private organizations who are investing on launching their own microsatellites on that. But predominantly it is all government organization, including JAXA and some other different, for example, Weather News Tokyo, Tokyo University, and other organization across globe, which is more from a government point of view. For our Excel Globe platform, we are our target is different organizations in agriculture, forestry, even marine economy. For example, these are private organizations who are having different goals. For example, there are bigger organizations who want to monitor their larger farms. Okay, so we are using our technology to give them key business insight, whether it is for their yield optimization, farm management, or if there are forest organization, then we are able to track even forest fires. We are able to even track illegal mining, which is happening in Amazon and different forests across. So these kind of different organizations we are talking. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kunal.
Thank you, Mr. Zhang, for the question. Moving on, another speaker for a question, please. Ryota-san, you look very interested to ask a question. Please go ahead.
All right, thanks, Kunal, for the great presentation. Also, I'm wondering if you have any other, government organization or private sectors outside Japan that you are currently dealing with.
Yes, predominantly the government organization, it is more heavy in Japan, okay, but we are still in touch with different space agencies. For example, we are in touch with UK space agencies. We are in touch with different federal organizations in North America and also in South America, okay. But in terms of private organization, we have multiple connects even across North America, Europe, in Southeast Asia, which is outside Japan, because a lot of the use cases which are a bit matured are also in North America, South America, because of predominance in agriculture, forestry, and different use cases.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chandra, yes, please go ahead.
Yes, hi, Kunal. Very interesting presentation as well. Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, I think it's a very interesting presentations.
Thank you.
Just want to know what will be the biggest challenge you think when you try to approach clients most of the times, and how you address that?
So I think one of the biggest challenge what we are currently also facing is that the lot of bigger organization, which are government organization, they also have a lot of free data which they have put it open for a lot of public. Yeah, even the resolution is not as exact as our, or not fine as our, but a lot of organization is also using these kind of open source data, okay, which is freely available, because these organizations are bigger and they have been in this business and they have also a lot of money since many years, okay. For private organization, there's a challenge, okay, because you also have to monetize your data, okay, which you have to fight it out with these bigger organization going forward. But I think one of the area where Excel space is very prominent is that our internal capability on analysis, data analysis, machine learning, which we are leveraging, and then it gives us a niche offering in terms of our analytics product with our imagery. I think that way it becomes a good offering. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Kunal.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to round it off, Vitavin, do you have any questions, please?
Hi, Kunal.
Hi.
Just wondering, what's the biggest excitement for next year for the company?
So for next year, we are launching 5 more microsatellites, okay, which is the initial schedule was Q1 of 2023. Yeah, but then we have to push a bit early, and it will be December 2022. That is also one of our key excitement. With that, once we launch it up, we will be able to capture any point on Earth on a daily basis on that. So that will be a big excitement where we will be able to maybe capture a larger area, including defense and other sources where they need capturing of Earth at any point on a daily basis. I think that's also, we are excited about it. Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Kunal Raima of Access Space, and good luck to you as well. Let's now proceed to our next startup, TrustDoc. TrustDoc is Japan's leading eKYC provider and one of the few startups to receive backing by 3 of the largest Japanese banks. TrustDoc provides its clients with a range of customized eKYC solutions to help with their customer onboarding and their onboarding conversion while complying with regulatory requirements. TrustDoc is headquartered in Tokyo with offices in both Thailand and Singapore. Joining us here today on WILDFIRE is their head of business development in APAC, Ms. Deborah Zillion. Deborah, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Yes, so I'll jump straight in. I'm representing TrustDoc. We're headquartered in Japan. Next slide, please. And we're addressing exactly the issue that you see in front of you. First of all, KYC regulations across countries are very, very different, and not only across different countries, but also within other industries. Of course, getting this right and building your own KYC onboarding solution is quite challenging. Not only do you need the resources to build them, but also on top of that, you have to have experience to really provide a good customer onboarding experience. Now, on top of what we've seen, especially over the or last, I would say 18 months since the beginning of the pandemic, that online frauds, in fact, have increased. So in order to come or to handle that increase of frauds, now there are a lot of countries that have introduced country-specific requirements, such as screening international or national ID cards against national databases. So this is exactly why TrustDoc exists. We focus on the eKYC so our clients can focus on their business. Next, please. Yes, so it's a very simple identity verification in 2 steps. One of them is, of course, uploading an image of your ID document, and then together with a liveness selfie, where at the same time you have to verify that you're the person on the identity document and that you're also a real person at the time of onboarding. Next, please. Yes, as mentioned, we're headquartered in Japan. We're market leaders and have done already over 3.5 million verified identities to date. And yes, not only supporting Japanese local companies, but more and more so global players that are looking to go into the Japan market because they're realizing one model no longer fits all. So their global providers no longer work in not only Japan, but many, many countries. Next, please. Yes, so we have already offices in Singapore and in Thailand, and our 6 to 12 roadmap over the next 6 to 12 months is in fact to have presences in all 6 Southeast Asian markets. So that includes the Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Next, please. Of course, then being backed by the 3 largest Japanese banks also means that we have to comply with local regulations, which is why we work very, very closely with relevant ministries and government bodies to ensure that our solutions are compliant. Next, please. Exactly. So it's a modular approach, so our clients only use what they really need.
And again, thank you so much, Deborah, for your presentation with TrustDoc. And with that, I leave it now to our judges to ask their first set of questions for Deborah. Please do raise your hands electronically if you've got questions. I think maybe Chandra, they'll be visiting your country very soon. You might have TrustDoc there very soon. Please go ahead.
Yes. Are you aware about your competitions in Indonesia?
We are.
And then, can you share about your revenue model a bit?
Yes, of course. So what we do is we aggregate the best technologies that are out there. Of course, building your own liveness detection solution or your OCR system. If you do and build everything at the same time, you can never be the best. So we cooperate with the best in class solutions that are out there. But at the same time, we also make an effort in also forming a legal entity in those countries to get access to national databases. So that is for Indonesia example, it's Dukcapil. So without having the ability to screen against a national database, the Dukcapil database, of course, you're not fully complying with regulators. So if you go with global solutions, for example, then you at least have to work already with a second provider that gives you access to the national database. And that's exactly our sweet spot, where we localize our solutions on top of the, I would say, standard verification modules that already exist out there. Did I answer your question?
Yes, but can you name your competition, like Indonesia?
Yes, so in Indonesia, for example, there are some local vendors. If I recall correctly, in Indonesia, we are competing against, I'll need to look into the names. I can.
Don't worry.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I'm very impressed already. She knows about Dukcapil, so great job.
Okay. Well, you've got an innocent party over here in Indonesia, Deborah, it looks like. More questions, please. How about Vitamin?
Hi, Deborah. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, so what's the biggest hurdle for the current expansion plan that's being implemented? Could you share a bit more on that?
I think it's always dev resources. On the technical side, we can't build faster, unfortunately, because we only have so and so many tech team members. So typically, it's exactly that integration of national databases, because these are all depending on country. In Singapore, for example, we have the My Info. That, of course, it's a different API. We'll have to apply for it to the regulators, have our local entities. So it's more that regulatory framework and the tech resources. So it's just, especially due to COVID, just getting, for example, in Thailand, the approval to integrate the national database in Thailand, which is the DOPA online, the Department of Provincial Administration, that took us about 9 to 12 months to really get the license to screen against that database. So yeah, I think that's the main issue that is holding us back.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you with that. Joe, please go ahead.
Sure. Hi, Deborah. Thanks for the presentation. I have a more fundamental question. So out of Japan, why did you guys pick Southeast Asia as the expansion plan?
Okay, so first of all, proximity to Japan is not too far off. Second, it's of course volumes of individuals. So the more customer onboardings we can do, the more revenue, of course, there's in for trust stock as well. So if we look into a Thailand, for example, we have over hundreds of million individuals that can potentially onboard with trust stock. So it's mainly on the volumes based because we charge for one verification each. And B is also the localization. So, I mean, Asia Pacific is not like the European Union, for example, where you already have standardized documents and where everything tends to be standardized. It's really that challenge that companies face when they go into Asia Pacific or Southeast Asian markets, that each country has their own regulations, their own challenges when it comes to verifying identity cards. Example, Philippines, they have over 30 different ID cards at the moment. So how do you really verify those different identity documents? Where are the security features? Where are the names and ID numbers and expiration dates located? So it's really very, very unique, different approach to verifications in each market. And that's what most companies struggle with. And that's why we think there is a solution needed, especially in Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Super clear. Thanks.
Thanks very much. And that's all we have right now. For our eKYC solution, Trust Stock. Again, thank you so much, Deborah Zillion. And we're back, proceeding to our next startup, which is NetSmile. NetSmile is a leading provider of digital transformation and digital innovation solutions using artificial intelligence to simplify and assist with work that was thought to be possible only by humans. With the mission of creating artificial intelligence that thinks like a human being, NetSmile aims to create an AI that will grow with people while helping them in case of trouble. Joining us here today is the Senior Customer Success Officer. We have George Lowy.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm George, and I am from NetSmile. And as you can see, we are aiming to digitize complex documents with our human AI. Next, please. So established in 2013 and released product 2019. We're 20 employees. Our IPO just began and we're expecting it 2023. Next, please. So we have 3 processes at NetSmile. So we do digitization, digitalization, and DX, digital transformation, using our AI scan robot, AI task robot, and our consulting services. Next, please. So first is the AI scan robot. It's an AI OCR. Traditional OCR can be really expensive and really difficult to use, and also just a lot of human intervention required. Next, please. Some of our clients include a lot of food industries, food and beverage industries like Nestle, and also warehouse industries, logistics, anywhere that uses a lot of paper or that requires some kind of digitization. We also have some partners like Canon and NEC here. Next, please. So this is kind of a workflow image, but as you can see, the AI scan robo in the top in the cloud service there, that's one of our products. And so you're either scanning these physical papers or you can have a digital file. And yeah, just automatically uploading and downloading and reading those documents, extracting the information from it, and placing it in a specified folder. Some customers have provided us with what they've achieved, like 50% cost reduction. And it's really easy to use, just 1 hour training session. And yes, you can use RPA and API with it. Next, please. So a little bit about AI Scan Robo. So it'll divide these groups and it'll sort them for each item. So it's neatly exported and you can read these difficult documents. And next, please. And the template setup is really easy. So you make these templates to read the documents, but you just have to use our auto segmentation. So not highlighting the entire area, but just a portion of it, and it'll read everything. Next. Confirmation screen, it'll show you the results, and then you can correct everything here. So simple. Next, please. And it'll read English handwriting, Japanese handwriting, and these languages at the moment. We can include other languages.
Again, thank you so much, George. That ends the presentation for NetSmile. And with that, we'd like to bring it back to our board of judges to begin with their questions. Can I ask which judge would like to get the ball rolling with NetSmile? Again, please do raise your hands electronically so I can see you very easily. Okay, I'd like to start with the most intense stare. Joe Zan. Joe, please feel free with the questions.
Hi, Josh. Thanks for the presentation. I'm curious on your technology backend. So in terms of the because this is like image recognition. So do you develop everything on the tech backend by in-house, or are you using like some open source?
No, everything
ML
is in-house.
Yeah.
So our in-house engineers are creating everything. Yes, the AI, the machine learning, the image recognition. We also do have an assistance of Google Vision, but we also have our in-house image recognition as well. And we can do pattern recognition. So reading surveys or like check marks or circles around yes or no, or stamps. But yes, that's in-house, yes.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Joe. Next question. I'm looking at Mr. Yes, Chandra, please go ahead.
Hi, George. Very nice presentation as well. I think my questions would be more centered toward Indonesia. Have you entered Indonesia market, or do you have any plan?
Yes, we do have a reseller contract in Hong Kong, and we do have Nestle have one of their offices in Manila use our AI Scan Robo, but that's about it.
Okay, all right.
Chandra, thank you very much. Mr. Vitavin?
Hi. Probably could you elaborate a bit more on AI Task Robo and what's the unique selling point of that product when you make a selling pitch to the clients? Thank you.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I couldn't get to the AI Task Robo portion, But yes, it is a more project-based, and so it requires a lot of data beforehand and a lot of setup. So basically, it is our machine learning process. So suppose like stocks, it'll organize the information and it'll provide the next 30 minutes of information. We also do in the healthcare industry, we're trying to read, it's in Japan, but they have these medical certificates that are really complicated, and we're trying to read their documents at these medical institutions for healthcare. And we also have like a masking robo. So on TV, there'll be something that you don't want to be shown, maybe like a Coke bottle or something, but it's called a masking robo, and it'll automatically identify what's not to be shown, and it'll mask it, just like kind of like Zoom does the screen. So that's kind of what AI Task Robo is. It's a larger project based, and if you want to digitalize a workflow, we can talk about it and then develop something.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Josh, for your presentation. Just wanted to ask you one question. So when it comes to digitalization, I think Japan has a lot more opportunities as compared to some of the countries in Southeast Asia, especially against Singapore. So just wanted to ask you why you wanted to see the opportunities outside Japan, which I may think is the largest country with a lot of opportunities, but to look for opportunities in Southeast Asia.
Yes, of course. So and in Japan, there are still many fax and a lot of paper documents still being used, and so it's quite a large market in that industry. But other countries as well, even though they are beginning to digitize already, not using a lot of paper, there's still a lot of industries that need to use paper or that have information or data that they need to have digitally instead of someone inputting it manually. And of course, it's all about automating, and not just Singapore, but these countries still require some automation. And so I think there's still an opportunity, and I'd like to know if they are already using some kind of OCR. Then I want to know if they can compare our product, and then we can
George, with
get
that,
feedback.
time is up. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thanks.
For NetSmile, again, thank you for making us all smile here on the panel.
Yes, thank you for having me. Nice day.
Okay, sure. And thank you so much for enlightening us with your smile as well, Mr. George Lawi of NetSmile. Our next startup is IDEMI. IDEMI is the leading company supporting the internalization of AI DX. Artificial intelligence application has expanded from the ICT industry to a wide range of fields, which include manufacturing, services, and agriculture and fishery industries. To pitch to us today, we have Kosuke Ito, Chief Financial Officer of IDEMI. Kosuke, please begin your presentation.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Kosuke Ito. Today, I'd like to introduce IDEMI's business. IDEMI provides e-learning service to support customers' digital transformation, DX, human resources development. Digital transformation refers to the process of transforming what was analog in business into digital. The next page. And first, there are many challenges that client companies face when they decide to go from analog to digital. What is the necessary scale for digital talent? How do you choose between in-house resources or outsourcing in order to promote digital transformation, including in-house AI. Institutional transformation is needed, but the necessary steps have yet to be established. And the next page. There are 3 steps to advancing digital transformation. First step is to develop human resources to focused on DX and AI. Second step is a proof of concept development. Third step is digital products operation. IDEMI solution is the DX human resource development and proof of concepts, which is an e-learning service called IDEMI Business Cloud. And next step, please. According to the EPS Research Institute, IDEM Business Cloud is the best e-learning service to organize DX-ready structure. Number of users is more than 110,000. Number of clients is more than 120, and the number of courses is also more than 120. Here is an example of courses. There are 2 main types. One is for learning in video format, and the other is for learning while actually typing the code. And the next page. Our service has been introduced to more than 120 companies, mainly large Japanese company such as Canon, SMBC, which is a Sumitomo Group, and Daikin. And the next, CEO Akihiko Ishikawa founded the current company while attending the University of Tokyo, become an entrepreneur. Today's presenter, I am working as CFO. I was engaged in the M&A and also finance at 2 investment banks. The basic fee for the e-learning service is a monthly fee. The basic fee.
Suko-san, thank you very much. The time is up. And that was Kosuke-san with IDEMI. With that, I'd like to welcome back our judges for their questions for IDEMI.
Okay.
Let's start with our first set of questions. Maybe Ryota-san, would you like to start off?
Sure, thanks for the presentation. So I think this is one of the very competitive markets. So just wanted to ask you 1 or 2 key differentiating factors to your customers as compared to the competitors. Thanks.
Okay, of course, you mentioned we have many competitors such as AI ventures and also the system developer. But we have 2 differentiation and also strong point. One is contents, quantity of contents and also quality of contents. And also we have many strong supporting team. So we provide many support and many suggestions and also advice to our clients.
Right, thanks.
Thank you so much, Ryota-san. Do we have any more questions from the others here as well? Mr. Joe-san, please go ahead.
Thanks for the presentation. I think you didn't have the time to cover the topic on the go-to-market strategy. Can you elaborate more on the what are the channels that you are using to acquire clients at the moment?
One more please, the strategy for clients.
Yeah, so what are the channels that you are using to acquire your clients at the moment?
Okay. One is a channel partner in Japan. Channel partner is a personal channel partner. Mainly the elder people before they worked for a large company, and they introduced us, a large and also big company for our client. And the second is web marketing, and also we send a letter letter to a big client, and also tell the position in DX and also AI. And we have appointment with our client, and also we propose our e-learning service.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Joe. Chandra, would you like to ask a question, or Vitavin? Yes, Chandra, please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, Ito-san, I feel like very interesting presentation as well. Do you have any plan actually going to another market, or just or doing operations in Japan right now?
Because right now we expand in our service in only Japan, but in a few years, such as 1 or 2 years later, we would like to expand our business in global market, especially in Southeast Asia. Yeah. So this is a very big chance to expand our service in this presentation.
Yeah, that's why it's good for you. Later on, you can tap into all the judges. Okay. Yeah, all the experts in their own respective markets.
Yeah.
Exactly. And having said that,
good luck. Good luck.
as well. Vitavin, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, just a quick question. Could you share like one success story of your client after they adopt your product and become successful at digital transformation within their organization?
One big success is Daikin. Daikin is an air conditioner company, a very global company, and they introduced our service, e-learning service, and they develop human resource like 100 to 200. So many young business person can actually can code the AI, machine learning, and they use their prototyping in their business.
Okay,
thank you. Having said that, Joe, did you want to have a follow-up question? Okay. Again, thank you so much to all of our speakers and to all of our judges for those questions for our startup here today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you, Idemi. Let's now proceed to our next startup, Kotosna. Kotosna aims to be a reliable partner in the tourism scene, optimizing business operations through digitization, gathering data, and expanding business reach with highly advanced multilingual communication corporate tools. Their products drive business growth and strengthen internal operations. We are joined here today by the product manager, Eileen K. Relau. Eileen, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much. Right, so now I can see my slides are up. Chatbots, how effective are they really? 2 weeks ago, Singapore had a good laugh after how Janie the chatbot responded to a parent inquiring about a daughter possibly contracting COVID-19. But had we been in the position of the distressed parent, we wouldn't be pleased with Janie's answer, would we? I'm sure we've all had our own disappointing chatbot experiences. Clearly, chatbot is not the answer to giving high-touch customer service. Next slide, please. Another pain point is what The Economist reported. 49% of financial losses experienced by larger businesses are due to language barriers. Next, please. Our solution to these real pain points is our multilingual live chat. It helps businesses deliver high-touch customer experience despite language differences. Next slide, please. Our product will be launched on the Marina Bay Sands website from next month. This is how it looks on the guest side. The guest goes to the company's website and starts chatting with the company's customer support staff by launching our widget. Next slide, please. This is how it looks on the staff side. We developed this live chat portal and it's still a work in progress. Next slide, please. Now, looking at it side by side, the smartphone on the right is used by a Japanese guest, and the portal on the left is operated by the staff. As you can see, languages are seamlessly translated. The guest types in Japanese, and the staff receives the message in English, and vice versa. Our product does not only translate, it also helps businesses handle inquiries more systematically. Next slide, please. Our product impressed MDS, no less. As MDS director Ms. Shu said, by far, we find Katazuna's translation technology to be the better one in terms of accuracy. Next slide, please. Studies show that customers are 70% more likely to buy if they're able to use their own language during the transaction, and 86% if they are happy with the service regardless of the cost. Our multilingual live chat may increase conversion and improve customer satisfaction. It can help business cut labor costs and improve efficiency. Next slide, please. Businesses spend over $1.3 trillion per year to receive customer inquiries through mediums that our product also covers. Through our partnerships, our obtainable market is $14 per year. Next slide, please. Our subscription fee is $100 per staff per month. Next slide, please. We are confident that our product can help businesses from various industries to ensure high-touch customer service. Given that our translation tech is superior, Quick Connect Limited found that Katazuna translation is 20 to 50% more accurate than Google Translate or Microsoft Bing. Next slide, please. Multilingual translation has always been Katazuna's specialty since our founding in 2016. Next slide, please. Our CEO, founder Ganri-san, was also the founder of Japan's first and largest online drugstore, Kenko.com, listed and sold to Rakuten in 2014. He and I met at the National University of Singapore when we were both working on our graduate studies at Lee Kuan Yew School. And myself, I'm Kay, I oversee the development of the product itself. Ganri and I may be setting the vision for our product, but we owe the realization of it to our amazing diverse team of engineers in Japan. Next slide, please. We have a strong distribution partner in Japan, JTB, or Japan Travel Bureau, Japan's largest travel corporation. Presently, at least 150 hotels in Japan are using our flagship product.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Maraming salamat. And now moving on to our questions from the judges for Kotozna. Let's please start. Chandra, you've got a big smile on your face. It looks like you've got some questions in store for Kay.
Yes, Kay, I think it's a wonderful solution. Amazing. So good presentation as well. Are you based in Singapore?
I am currently in Singapore because of the project with MBS until February next year, or maybe can be extended. We don't know yet, but the company is based in Japan.
I see. And then how accurate is the translations percentage-wise? Because I've seen several solutions like this. The accuracy is ranging between 70 to 85, 88% probably. How about yours?
Ours would be, yes, I'm very confident to say that ours would be higher than that. We don't have the accurate number, like how accurate it is, because it will vary case-to-case basis. Tested our translation tech, it was definitely better than Google Translate and Microsoft Bing. And of course, MBS recently tested our accuracy as well, and they said that it's the best that they've seen.
Okay, and then in what languages have you covered basically? So I noticed that Japan and English, like basically. How about the other languages as well?
Right. So for the pitch, I covered Singapore and Japan. So definitely the languages you will see in my pitch would be English and Japanese. But Katazuna translation actually covers 109 languages. So if you would check our competitors, you'd find out that we cover the most number of languages possible. And we continue to expand, of course.
All right. Okay. All right. Good luck. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Chandra. Vitovin.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the presentation. Could you probably share some insights on the client that has been using the product? Like what are the most common use cases, and also how long does it generally take for a client to onboard this chatbot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So firstly, sorry, it's not a chat bot, but it's hybrid actually. So it's a live chat and a chat bot together. So the chatbots are there, but definitely a human has to be behind the technology itself. But insights from our Japan users, they reported that 80% efficiency rate actually increased. Productivity is also very positive. And I'm very proud to say that 100% rating for usefulness. So when our hotels in Japan ask their customers whether they like the service or not. So 100% because I think in Japan, as we all know, it's pandemic time, right? So our technology actually helps hotel staff and guests to communicate virtually. So no need for face-to-face interaction. So they really appreciate the product. For translation, no problem at all so far. You might want to ask how come our translation tech is actually very good. We use both technology and human input. So we use the most advanced machine translation engines, but we don't stop there. We also use humans to improve our translation further. Right.
Thank you so much. Ryota-san, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation, Kai. I think Japanese is still the largest, the foreign guests to stay at the MBS today. It's not Chinese, but it's Japanese at the MBS. But I guess majority of those Japanese visiting and staying at the MBS are actually making a booking through the agent. So they don't need to use in English when it comes to the making a reservation. So how do you and MBS work together to try to shift those Japanese people to book directly online so that your technology will be valuable to them?
Right. Thank you so much. It's a very good question because yes, there has been a lot of communication between Patuzan and MBS. MBS actually has a marketing team in Japan. So definitely once our widget solution is up on Japanese website of MBS, the marketing team in Japan will promote MBS in Japan all throughout the country. And of course, promoting to use the website itself and promoting that we have a multilingual live chat now. And you're right, Japanese market is one of the top 5 markets for MBS. And that's why they're very keen on using our tech and focusing first on Japanese and English. But later on, we actually have to cover the other languages as well. Thank you.
Right, thanks. Good luck.
Thanks so much, Ryota. And of course, Joe, any questions, please?
Thanks for the presentation, Kai. I just want to just check on in terms of the accuracy. Definitely from Japanese to English, vice versa, is kind of higher than the other major platform. Just want to check the accuracy level on Japanese to other 100 over languages. Is it a similar level of accuracy, or is kind of trailing behind?
Yeah, very good question again. Thank you. Definitely, because we, of course, rated and tested our translation, we observed definitely that other languages to Japanese will be very high, but the Japanese to another language would be 10% less. But definitely the translation accuracy would be 80 plus, 80 beyond, nothing less than that. But yes, good point. Yeah.
Got it. And this links to the question on the expansion strategy into not only hotels in Singapore, but hotels in other Southeast Asian countries who may be not serving Japanese as the biggest group, right? So just want to understand what will be the expansion strategy into other Southeast Asian countries.
Right. So actually, if you look at the data, Southeast Asia has 70 million companies, and we can just be very realistic and maybe take 10% of that. But we're very confident that we can take 10% of it, so 7 million users, because of our partnership with JTB. JTB, or Japan Travel Bureau, as we all know, is a legacy company founded in 1912, and they're very connected across the region. And actually,
thank you so much. I'm sorry to take time for the questions,
all
but
right, no problem, no problem.
Great answers again. Thank you so much to Kay of Kotosna. Let's now proceed to our next startup, Tenchijin, which provides land evaluation and discovery engine by using satellite data and AI, which analyzes potentials of the field and supports agriculture, real estate, infrastructure, and government. Please welcome their business developer and engineer, Adrian Lemal. Adrian, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Frank. I'm delighted to introduce you Tenchijin. So we are BayWa and BX 2021 Gravity Challenge. And our mission is to optimize land usage with satellite data and AI. So you can have beautiful crops such as the rice picture you see on the bottom. Next slide, please. So the problem is tremendous. Right now, the soil is degrading, crops cannot grow. There is a tremendous mismatch between soil and crops, and therefore farmers and agribusinesses facing so many issues. Their revenue plummets, and for us, the food price is increasing drastically. Next slide, please. So we have a solution, Compass, which will match the crop and your land. So it's very easy. First, you select your area, like you can see on the left. So for example, here in Philippines, and this area, the AI will tell you what is the best crop to grow in this land. So you can do it in Philippines, but also worldwide because we monitor the whole planet. And also, vice versa, we can tell you which land is best for your crop. Next slide, please. So this is how Compass looks like. So it's a visual map that tells you, informs you where it is the best place to grow your crops. And we are able to predict the risk of infection and pest during the whole season. So you can have full visibility on your business, crops, and revenues. Next slide, please. The market is tremendous. We are targeting 6 million farmers and cooperatives. The market is evaluated at $13 billion with a tremendous growth in Philippines and worldwide. Next slide, please. Our solution has already by a dozen of customers worldwide. So here I shortlist 3 that are public domain. So Zespri, Shinmei, and Sewa. So Zespri, we told them that they could grow kiwi outside of New Zealand, and then could grow it in Japan. And they were very happy with the solution, and now they can grow kiwi in Japan. Next slide, please. What do we bring to customers? So we bring them through B2B and direct sales contract, many benefits. They have a better prediction of their crops, better prediction of the risk. We enhance their performances. We support them with marketing and sales, because if they want traceability of food, we can tell them where to grow, where is the best to grow. And with this, our business is highly scalable because we control our cost and can get as many customers as we want. Next slide. And finally, to conclude, the Tenchijin team is composed of 4 people for this project. Myself and 3 teammates with expertise in business development, data science, and agronomy. And we are highly committed to make this project successful for all of you and enable you find the best land for your crop and the best crop for your land. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Tenchijin. Very interesting, I must say, coming from an agricultural country like the Philippines. With that, let's move on to our questions from the judges. Which judge would like to fire the first question? Please do raise your hands so I can call on you. All very intense. Vitavin, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Just curious, how do you determine the quality of the soil? Is there any alternative database apart from the satellite images?
Oh, yes, that's an excellent question. So we determine the quality of the soil with satellite data first, and also sensors on the soil. So we fuse both sources of data that we feed the AI, and the AI then optimized the combination between the crop and land.
All right. Are all the sensors being developed and owned by the company?
Oh, that's a very good question as well. So we use the sensors that are on site on the agribusiness, and if needed, we can also support the design of some sensors for really peculiar data, such as soil humidity, carbon dioxide sequestration, and so on.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
and then you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Chandra, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Adrian, it's very interesting as well. I've actually encountered several solutions like yours, right? And then I've tried to connect to corporations actually in Indonesia. For example, I know personally Dread Giant Pineapple, which is one of the biggest exporter of pineapples from Indonesia. And actually, the challenge is they prefer actually to get your solution for free first, right? And then after that, then they will try to see whether it's going to be able to work, and before actually they decide to actually to pay you, right? That's the situations, and so that's actually the concern, because from there then you have to place PIC in that corporations, and then their plantations actually located outside from Java Island, because Indonesia is a very big country, so it's actually not located in the Jakarta and the capital cities, but actually in the most rural areas. You should imagine. So if you plan to expand, like how are you going to address these kind of things, right? Because I tried to connect two corporations already, doing similar, quite similar technologies. And maybe you can also explain to me what make you different than the rest of your competitions, probably.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Chandra, as well. Thank you very much. So with respect to competition, we are the only one who is scalable and can find land all over the planet. So in Indonesia, which is a large country, as you said, and that we acknowledge, so we can find every places in Indonesia. This is our first competitive advantage. We are scalable. Then we are the only one who can mix the expertise of agronomy, so soil analysis and expertise, with AI and satellite data. Second competitive advantage. Now on how we process. So usually we meet with the people on site. So we'll be delighted to come to Indonesia and see the whole value chain in Indonesia, from farmers to cooperative and so on. And we will do, so we can envision actually a free trial, free of charge. And then we discuss, we understand your needs, and we build a proof of concept together. And then you will have a service that you can subscribe in. And to help us this, we also envision to have a representative in any countries that we develop the solution. So we're probably thinking of having someone in Indonesia from your network as well, from your friends, from your colleagues, that could help your agribusiness in Indonesia and our businesses as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And
yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Chandra.
Last question coming from Ryota-san. Please go ahead, Ryota-san.
Yeah, thanks, Adrian, for the presentation. So I'm based in Singapore, and here this urban farming is getting bigger. So urban farming referring to those rooftop farming or indoor farming. So they are making the crops like kale or baby spinach or the strawberry here in Singapore. So just wanted to ask you if there's any technologies that you can potentially leverage for those urban farming environment as well.
Yeah, exactly. So as I said to Chandra, our technology is scalable first, but it's also granular. It means that we can help you with smaller sizes, smaller lands. And then it's our job to gather high resolution spatial and temporal data so that we can ingest in our AI. So we can help you tell you if your crops are growing well and if you had the best crops for your revenues and also for the cities as well, because Singapore is known as a very smart city. So whatever you grow can help Singapore be more sustainable as well. And so we can help you with this as well.
Okay.
So yeah,
thanks.
to conclude, we can choose any kind of data from any space agency, public or free, with the highest resolution. So we can help you very well.
Great. Thanks, Adrian.
You're welcome.
Again, thank you so much, Adrian, for sharing with us the technology of Tenshi Jin.
Well, thank you to all of you for your question. It was very interesting, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you very much. Let's now proceed to our last startup for today. Sagri is a smart agriculture data platform company with a combination of satellite images, AI and machine learning, and polygon mapping technology. We are joined here today by the India Team Chief Strategy Officer, Satoshi Nagata. Satoshi-san, please begin with your presentation.
Hi, nice to meet you all. Thank you for presentation. Thank you for your time today. Okay, let us introduce myself and our company. Next slide, please. Yeah. Our company, in a word, smart agriculture, data service and platform company with satellite, big data, AI machine learning, and grid polygon mapping. We can increase yield, remote sensing, the crop monitoring, and then we can do the optimization of fertilizer. Next slide, please. Yeah. We are going to solve two problems in the world. One is the agriculture-related problems. Farmers lack of smart agriculture, so we'd like to deliver smart agriculture access to farmers. Secondly, there's a heavy greenhouse gases problem from the farmland. We'd like to track these problems from our technology. These two is very huge market. We'd like to into that market. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, to deal with these problems, we have the two approach. One is the one is the AI polygon. AI polygon is like auto mapping of the farmland. Then we can track the vegetation information, whether any API we can put into it. We can create the smart agriculture data platform. Next slide, please. With this technology, it's kind of our Indian case study. Wheat, yeah, we reach the high yield, yeah, because we track the satellite images, then analysis of how is it going on the ground. Then we can suggest farmers how is the composition of the fertilizer. That kind of farming support we can do. Next slide, please. And also the greenhouse gases. From the satellite, we can track the total carbon and total nitrogen. It's the main factors of greenhouse gases from the surface of farmland. With these indicators, we can understand this farmland is a bit greenhouse gases or not. That kind of things we can do. Then based on that, we can suggest the farmers to please decrease or increase fertilizer. That kind of optimization we can do for farmers. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, then with these solutions, we can do the government, company, farmers. We can support every player of agri player based on their pain point. Next slide, please. Okay, our major tracking, including paid and POC, every 3 player we have in the each region. Next slide, please. Yeah. Then lastly, why we can win? We can focus on small and marginal farmers by ground. Yeah, that's why we can win. Yeah, yeah. It's our core member of the team. Yeah, like academics and the practitioner we can support. Last slide, please. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then if you have interest, we are looking for some partners. Yeah. Or something wrong? Yeah, slide is not moving. Can you move to the slide?
Thank you so much, Satoshi-san of Sagri. And now we begin with our final set of questions from our judges. Who would like to get the ball rolling for this one? Big smile. Just Chandra, please go ahead.
Hi, Satoshi-san.
Thank you. Yeah.
I haven't met you for quite a while. So how are you doing?
Oh, long time no see. How? Yeah, very well. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
So basically, I'm very clear already about Sagri. Since last time we met already about last year, right? And then maybe you can update me a bit about the progress since last year. Have you acquired users, say in India, and then have you successfully expanded to the other countries as well?
Yeah, maybe as of now, in addition to India, we have the proof of concept project in Thailand. Yeah, with Thailand central government.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, MOOAC. Yeah, we have it. Yeah, maybe based on that success, we'd like to expand Southeast Asia. That's why we are in Ignite 2021. Yeah.
I see. I see. So you're doing the project right now in Thailand, then?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If there's a case, then you have to meet one of the judges here. Then go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, let's all call on Vitamin. I guess that was a good introduction for Vitamin over there.
Yeah. Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, probably could you share a bit on that project, and also what do you look forward to in the next year in terms of new projects in Southeast Asia? Yeah.
Yes, of course. Okay. In Thailand, we are working like a pilot project with the Thailand government. In that project, Thailand government wants to create some smart data agriculture platform. However, some collection of data or plotting the boundary of farmland is something challenging may happen. So in that case, we are creating the our boundary automatically by our AI. Then let the Thailand government need not to go too much manual to ground. In that case, maybe we are making esports their operations. Yeah, this is one thing. Then based on that, that success, one thing we'd like to expand our maybe Southeast Asian country who wants to create some data platform. Yeah, like a governmental business. And also one more thing, these days we are speaking with Malaysian company or a Philippine company or some and Vietnam company, speaking with like a smart agriculture approach. With our technology, we can support like a fertilizer optimization, or we can detect the rice falling down detection by AI. In that case, we can suggest insurance company to how to make it, and also the we can check the health level of the yield, the wheat and paddy from historical data. In that case, maybe with a very small and marginal level we can do. That's why we'd like to do some smart farming project with such kind of companies. Yeah, like a financial institution fine, or like a food processing company fine, or a government fine. That kind of things we are looking for. Yeah, from audience. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Joe, please go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Satoshi-san. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
In terms of the fertilizer optimization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you like partnering with other fertilizer company, or you are?
Not yet.
What is the optimization you're talking about? Is it like the type of fertilizer or the mix?
Okay. Yeah. I see. Yeah, very good point. Very good point. Okay, we are controlling the total amount of fertilizer. Okay, for example, there's a farmland in a case. Then we are tracking vegetation index. For example, if this level of the vegetation index is very low, maybe we can regard this land power is not so good. On the contrary, this area very if the vegetation index is very strong, we can regard this farmland the power is a bit strong. In that case, we can change the amount of fertilizer. That kind of thing we can do. And moreover, we can track the total carbon or total nitrogen from the surface of farmland. Then we can make a map of it. Then based on that, we can suggest, hey, how about decreasing nitrogen? Yeah, because if the too much nitrogen, it's kind of toxic for farmland. But that kind of amount controls advice we are doing. Like maybe sometimes we can partner with the agri-tech player who know very well over the ground. That kind of things we can do also. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, Ryota-san, I'm giving you the chance to ask the final question for the startup pitch.
All right, Nagata-san, thanks for the very exciting presentation. So I was asking the same question before, but since I'm based in Singapore, and here in Singapore, the urban farming, where the people are cropping in an indoor environment or the rooftop environment are becoming very big. So just wanted to ask you if you have any technologies which you can also apply to the urban farming environment.
Yeah, that's a very critical question. As we are ground level support we are doing. So in that case, urban farming is not much our scope. Yeah, I'm sorry to say that. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for joining us for our last startup presentation. Satoshi Nagata again of Sagri. Again, thank you so much to you and to all the speakers and to all the startups that joined us for our wildfire pitch competition.
Thank you.